Good morning and welcome to chapel. We are going to kick things off with a game called What is Behind the Mask? We'll have a picture up on the screen. There will be a mask over the face or whatever it is that you're guessing, and then you will get three choices. You have to guess what is behind the mask. Here we go. Remove the mask, and what kind of expression does Taylor have? Is it A, smile, B, frown, or C, straight-faced? What's your guess? Oh, straight-faced. A tiny bit of a smile. So if you said smile, I'd give it to you. Oh, Steph, where's his mouth guard? A, side of mouth, B, on his teeth, C, no mouth guard. Elijah, I know you know this one. Yes, side of mouth. Mrs. Long knew that, and I don't even know that much about Steph Curry. Oh, The Rock. I love The Rock. Okay, remove this mask, and what is on The Rock's face? A beard, A, B, clean, or C, just a goatee? Let's see what we've got here. It is C, goatee. What does Ed Sheeran have behind this mask? A, lipstick, I hope not, B, a clown nose, or C, lollipop? A clown nose. Good look. What is the emotion behind the mask of this emoji? A, sad, B, indifferent, C, happy. What do you think it is? Happy. What is the color of the macaroon that is about to be unmasked? A, pink, B, yellow, C, blue. All of those would be pretty, and it is pink. Those look delicious. What are you going to see on the mug of this pug? A, tongue out, B, smile, C, snarl. Make your guess. Tongue out. Adorable. What are you going to see on the mug of this llama? A, pucker, B, teeth, C, smile. Could be anything. See what we've got. Teeth. A little bit of a smile. We're going to give you smile on that one too. Definitely teeth. Thanks for playing. What is behind the mask? We have a team of seniors leading us in praise and worship today. Stand up, stretch out. Join me for this time as we praise our one true God.
Hold me now in the hands that created the heavens. Find me now where the grace runs as deep as your scars. You pull me from the clay and set me on a rock. for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything, more than anything that you can do. I just want you. I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. I'm sorry when I've come with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot that you're enough. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. I'm caught up in your presence. I just wanna sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment.
Hey everybody, we are glad that you joined us for chapel today. I am excited to be here. I wish you all were here. It definitely is not the same, but we're gonna keep rolling with this idea of what if God is calling a timeout right now during this season? I started the first week and we said, what if God is calling a timeout to remind us who we are, that we are His and that He has all of this under control. He's got us taken care of. Mrs. Long talked in the second week, 2 weeks ago, about this idea of what if God's calling a timeout to change our plans, to kind of change our direction on things. She talked about Jonah having some time to sit and process through things with the Lord about how he wanted to proceed with God's call for his life. And then this week, our last week in this timeout series, we're going to really look at this idea of what if God is giving us a chance to rest. And not just rest in the moment, but to show us how to rest. So, as I was really thinking about this brought me to college. I got to think about when I was in college. How many of you remember being in college? Not many of you, because you're like 8 years old. College was a busy time for me, right? During the day, it was all about classes and going to chapel and eating. We had the 4 Ps were the staple of our diet in college. It was Pop-Tarts, Pringles, Powerade, and Pockets, Hot Pockets. Like we survived on that and cafeteria food. And we tried to fit a workout in there somewhere, so the days were busy. Then in our evenings, I played JV basketball, so there was either practice or I would have to work and I'd have to practice on my own. And there was dinner, and then usually in the evenings, we'd go play more basketball, right? So when you all are going to bed, that's when we would suit up and we'd go play with our friends or in our little league. And then you mix in there having to do homework and trying to be the best boyfriend ever. I don't know if I can claim that status, but she did marry me, so I did okay. And you got to fit video games in there. And man, I tell you what, college was busy. I enjoyed it, but our days would start at 8 or 9 in the morning and wouldn't end till after midnight. It wasn't a healthy way to live. Have you ever had a week where you felt like you just couldn't stop, or you never stopped, or maybe it's even a month, or you're like, man, that's just our spring, right? Like you're a kid, but you know what that busyness and that always going feels like. Maybe it doesn't help that you're in sports, or maybe you're doing multiple sports at one time and you're trying to do school and hang out with friends and do church stuff, and then you got siblings who have all that, and it just layers on, and it's a ton of stuff. You just feel like you can't stop, you can't get a break, you can't get to take a minute to take a deep breath. And then maybe you do get that time and it gets quiet, and the quiet gets uncomfortable. Right? You always got to have the TV playing in the background, or you always got to have your phone out so that something can distract you, or there's got to be something to check out on YouTube. Right? That's what my college years felt like, just less smartphones, because don't rub in how old I am. So I've got this fun story from back when I was in college. I'm going to give you the disclaimer now. It is gross, right? It's a hit for 5th and 6th grade boys. I will tell you when I'm getting to the really gross part, so you can plug your ears or hit mute, and I'll cue you back. But like I said, I played basketball during college, played some JV basketball. And one year, I think it was my junior year, my toe started to hurt, right? Like it's a toe, it's just my big toe. It's not very big, but it would hurt, and it started to hurt after practice. And then the next week it started to hurt, like while we're doing sprints at the end of practice. And I'm limping by the end, and coach is like, Jeff, you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna tell him my toe hurts, right? And then it started hurting during practice. And then finally one day, we're 15 minutes into practice, like we're still doing our 5-man weave warm-up drill and fast break drill, and I just went over to Coach. I'm like, Coach, I can't go. Like, I literally feel like my toe is broken right now. I don't know what's going on. And he said, hey, no problem. Go see the trainer. And this is the day that I really got to appreciate an athletic trainer, right? So I went in there, limped down the hallway. She told me to hop up on the table and take off my shoe. And And so I took off my shoe and my sock, and she went poking and prodding and looking at my already sweaty, smelly, slimy foot. All right, and so she looks at my toe, and she goes, "Oh, I see what it is. Your toe's infected." I'm like, "How did my toe get infected? I didn't step on a nail or get bit by a dingo or something." Like, I don't know dingoes, but no, she said, "You got an ingrown toenail and it's infected now." She goes, "We got to take care of it, otherwise it's just going to get worse." This is where it gets gross, okay? So she goes across the room and gets a little tiny scalpel, right? A little tiny knife. And she comes back, she goes, "Okay, this is going to hurt a little bit." And she makes a cut on my toe, and I'm like, "Ooh, that hurt." And then she goes, "No, here comes the good part." And she starts squeezing on my toe. And I am in so much pain. And just this nasty, pussy stuff starts coming out of my toe. I don't know why I'm laughing now, because it was disturbing what was coming out. But she had to squeeze until all that nasty stuff was out that wasn't even supposed to be there. Okay, you can come back to us now if you turned off the mute button. Right, I got all that nastiness squeezed out of my toe that wasn't supposed to be there. And it hurt so bad that I was on crutches for 2 days for an infected toe. I couldn't even walk on it. I had to take medicine and soak my foot a couple times a day. And my next 2 days, right, we went over what my schedule looked like. My next 2 days were way simpler than my usual schedule. There's no basketball, no working out. Work had slowed down. I was getting to spend some quality time with the kids who I worked with instead of just running around. And God called a timeout to my hustle and my busyness and my nonstop life. And he really kind of said, "Jeffro, it's time to slow down." My life didn't completely come to a stop. The world didn't stop turning, but my life became more manageable, and it fit me better. In the Bible, we're able to look and see that rest is important to God. The obvious place to see that is Genesis 2, right? Genesis 1, God creates everything, and then the beginning of Genesis 2, God rested. He creates a Sabbath rest, and then later in Exodus, in the Ten Commandments, he talks about, here's what the Sabbath is going to look like for you, one day a week when you're resting. But Jesus takes some time with Sabbath in the New Testament too, right? It's not just an Old Testament thing. But then Jesus is going to take this to a level where it's more than just a day on your schedule to lay down, right? He's going to talk about how rest is really a way that we live. In Matthew 11, 28 through 30, this is from the NIRV, the New International Reader's Version, because I think this reads really well for you guys, okay? He says, "Come to me, all who are tired and are carrying heavy loads. I will give you rest. Become my servants and learn from me. I am gentle and free of pride. You will find rest for your souls. Serving me is easy, and my load is light." See, Jesus looks around, he sees where the people are at all around him, and he sees what they're dealing with and all the hard things that are weighing down their hearts. And he says, "Listen, there's all of that, but I have a better way for you." Part of the reason that some of you, even me in this season where I'm not seeing people, I feel stressed out and all these things. You may feel stressed out and anxious and you're missing kind of how things were, but there's all this comparison that goes on. There's all these things that we get drawn to of being on this team or comparing ourselves to things that we're seeing online, because online seems to be how everything is, and really it's just the best thing that people are putting out there. We want to look good at doing something so that people can see us killing it. And when we try to rest, we are not good at resting. I will tell you that I've had to work at learning to rest. We substitute rest and re-energizing for just vegging out and being entertained. But Jesus defines God's rest there as a break from labor, a break from really hard work. and a break from what we call toil. Now, toil is one of those like really old school words that we don't use a whole lot right now, but what toil is it's fruitless or pointless work that just doesn't matter anyway. Right? Jesus doesn't say there's going to be no work. He says that his work is easy and light. It's fitting for you. In the last couple of weeks, we were moving some big bricks at my house, little pavers that, would make a patio or something. And so I loaded some of these up into a wagon, and I told LT, I said, hey, dude, I need you to bring these to the back corner of the yard. And he started doing it. And it was hard at first, but he was able to do it. I couldn't have asked my girls, I couldn't have asked Avery and Addie, who are 7 and 4, to do that job because it didn't fit them. It fit LT. If I can, as a dad, I knew what was a good fit for my kids. I want to do something here. I want to translate this verse into what I like to call, we've called it in 5th and 6th grade Bible class, the NJV. It's the new Jeffro version. Jeffro is what some people have called me. You can when you graduate. You can call me Jeff when you graduate high school. I feel like Jesus is saying, come to me when you are tired and worn down, when things are hard and when your world never stops. I can give you rest because I created rest. You try to find it in video games and sports and straight A's and YouTube and Disney Plus. But being mine is what real rest is all about. Follow me because I can show you what your days should be like, and my work is good work. If a few weeks ago God said, time out, I think right now he's really trying to tell us that he's given us a chance to rest. But this is different than when you're in a game and the coach is like, hey, time out, and you sit down real quick and you take a drink and you, and then he's like, okay, get back in there, right? No, this is different. Because God wants to give us a chance to change how we rest. He's giving us this rest as a gift so that we can get a glimpse or a whiff, right? That smell of something new, something different, something better. It used to be at the elementary school that Friday, right now we got Thursday, Friday ice cream days. Friday used to be cookie day. Right? And when you would be walking through the halls, getting to lunchtime on Friday, you would smell chocolate chip cookies just all through the halls. And then whatever food was in my hand just paled in comparison to chocolate chip cookies. You had a whiff, you had a sniff of something better that you wanted. God has something better for us. But that something better means that once we're out of quarantine here and life gets back to normal or like a new normal, we don't just jump into right where we were before. Think about what this season has meant for you and your family. How many more games have you played together? How many awesome conversations have you had with your parents or siblings or even other people who you're maybe doing online calls with and Skype and FaceTime and all these kinds of things? How many walks have you gone on together? How many fun pizza movie nights has your family had? And how many experiences have you had in the last 6 or 7 weeks that you hadn't had in months or years before that? See, we've got a good God who loves us, and he knows what fits us best. I think he's telling us, hey, time out, because he wants to teach us how to rest so that we can be at our best. And he's showing us how to get there because he gives us what we need. If I can side note for parents here, if I'm being very honest, this is one that I have been working through for a couple years now. And what does that look like for our family? This is a struggle. This is hard. And this message is just as much for our kiddos, especially our 4th, 5th, 6th graders, as it is for us in leading our families well. If this is something that you want to dive into, feel free to please contact the school, contact me, and there are resources that can help you in this idea of what does rest look like for your family? What does Sabbath look like for your family? Because like I said, it's not just Old Testament thing. This is a command that the Lord gives us. What does it look like for us to come out of this season rested, but then able to rest in the future? Lord, we thank you for today and for this chance to be together, even if it's through wires and cables, but that doesn't limit your spirit and our ability to come together in your name, God. Lord, as we're looking forward to being released from home and stuck in one place, we don't want to let this crisis, this current place that we're at, go to waste, Lord. If we're just holding on so we can get back to where everything was, that's not helpful, Lord. We want to come out of this changed and new and different than when we came in. Help us to do that, to do the hard things that it takes to be the people that you call us to be. And Lord, it sounds funny, but to do the hard work that it takes to rest well as you intended us to do that. Thank you for everybody who's watching, and we love you, Lord.
Let's honor students with Student in the Sunlight. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but when I was a teacher, I would listen to Student in the Sunlight and sometimes get lost if there were many of them and think, okay, there's this many more left. I can get through this. And then I had a change of perspective. And each one I listened to, I thought, I want to learn something special about that student. And it changed my whole mindset about Student in the Sunlight. And I love reading Student in the Sunlights. But I know sometimes it's hard to sit and listen to all of them. So as you do, think about that student. Pray for them as you hear me reading it. And learn something special about them. The first one, second grade, Carson A. Carson, you're like building a magnificent Lego build. Every piece is a piece of the build. Each Lego plays a specific part in the creation. I compare you to this because getting to know you was like building an awesome Lego masterpiece. Over the course of the year, I have gotten to see you as a beautiful masterpiece God created you to be. Carson, remember that you are a masterpiece of God's beautiful creation. Never forget that He put every piece of you together. The next time you're building Legos and you see how each piece plays a specific part in the final creation, remember that is how God designed you. Every part of you was created in a unique way to make you just the way you are. Carson, always remember you are God's masterpiece, Ephesians 2:10. Congratulations, lots of love, Mrs. Busher and Mrs. Arnold. But you are getting lots of Lego building done during this time. I would like to nominate Elijah C. Elijah, the day I met you, you reminded me of a soft teddy bear. Let me clarify myself. You are always bringing joy to our classroom with your kind demeanor and laid-back personality. You are a kid that I feel can adjust to any given situation and can give comfort to anyone in your presence. I am sure you are bringing comfort to your family during this strange time, just as the teddy bear brings comfort to many. Continue to love those around you and bring joy to people you surround yourself with. Elijah, always remember this quote. With God, there's always hope. There's always redemption, and whatever He touches, He is able to transform. Elijah, you can be like Jesus and bring hope and comfort to all those around you. Congratulations, lots of love, Mrs. Busher and Mrs. Arnold. I would like to nominate Owen B. as Student in the Sunlight because he is secretly incredible. This past Monday, our morning devotion was called Secretly Incredible from the book Love Does by Bob Goff. I'm going to read a small paragraph to you from the book that describes Owen and why he is secretly incredible. Jesus was talking with his friends and told them, if you don't know if you really want to be like me, here's what you need to do. If you do something good, don't make a big deal about it. Don't do nice things for people so you'll get attention. Instead, do great things for people in secret because God always sees what you do. Now, Owen is very quiet and keeps to himself most of the time. When we were still in school, I would see him do different jobs in the classroom without coming and telling me he did it. He would do them and then move on to the next thing. Owen, thank you for being secretly incredible. God sees your small acts of kindness and responsibility, and he's very pleased with you. We love you. Love, Mrs. Judy. I would like to nominate Preston Z for Student in the Sunlight because of his genuine heart. Preston joined our class when we came back from Christmas break. After a week of having him, you would have never known he came halfway through the year. He was always smiling and laughing while working diligently with his table group, as well as other students in the class. He fits in perfectly. Preston, I am so proud of you and your hard work this year and how you adapted to our classroom. I'm so sad that we did not have enough time together in third grade. I pray that you keep on being you and sharing your genuine heart with others by loving them the way Jesus loves you. Romans 12:9 reads, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. I hope you keep on clinging to what is good and genuine as you go into fourth grade. We love you, Mrs. Judy. I would like to nominate Elijah S. Because of his perseverance and drive to get a job done right. Elijah can be seen daily, really focused on getting his work completed. Even throughout this time away from school, his assignments are always neatly written and completed to the best of his ability. For example, at the beginning of distance learning, I received several pictures of Elijah sitting at his work area all ready for the daily lessons. His work area was very neat and included everything he may need throughout his day. His work area included an actual student desk with pencils, paper, books, coloring supplies, textbooks, workbooks, even bright sunshine from outside. To me, this shows his drive to do his best. Plus, his cat Laszlo was there to support him as well. Elijah, you are one cool kid, and I know your future will be bright. My prayer for you comes from James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Congratulations. Lots of love, Mrs. Plattfoot. I would like to nominate Anthony S. Anthony is one of those kids who's so laid back and goes with the flow. The kid who waits for something good to happen and is okay with waiting. However, when that good thing happens, he shows his enthusiasm with hoops and hollers and smiles and appreciative thank yous. I love this about Anthony. Anthony is also very creative and extremely smart. Numerous times through the school year, Anthony has been seen creating and decorating storybooks and happily sharing these books with his friends and neighbors in class. These books were creative and well written. In the future, I can see Anthony creating video game brochures or how-to books for video games, maybe even create a new video game himself. Anthony, my prayer for you comes from Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not human masters. Congratulations, lots of love, Mrs. Plattfoot. I would like to nominate Della P, a student in the Sunlight. Della is such a fun, creative girl. In honor of her creativity and fun self, I created an acrostic poem using Della's name with words that describe her. D is for daring. Della is adventurous and always ready for a challenge. She approaches every challenge with confidence and a smile. Della's confidence reminds me of Ephesians 3:12. In him and through faith in him, we may approach God with freedom and confidence. Della, keep remembering how much God loves you and how you can be confident because of his love for you. E is for eager. Della approaches each new day, ready to learn and spread joy. L is for loving. Della truly loves and cares for her friends, and she goes out of her way to make them feel taken care of. The second L is for learning. Della is always looking for ways to learn something new about her friends and teachers. She is so sweet and asks me and her friends questions about ourselves to help her know us better. A is for amazing. Della amazes me every day by how she brings joy and laughter in everything she does. Della, I have absolutely loved being your teacher and getting to know you this year. I pray that you always remember how truly loved and special you are. Keep being you because you are awesome. Lots of love, Mrs. Thomas. I would like to nominate Logan B. I love the way Logan brings joy everywhere he goes. It is so evident that he wants to make other people feel loved and cared for. I love how he makes his friends laugh with his awesome sense of humor. Not only does Logan make the people around him laugh, he also cares about how they are doing. When we were at school together, Logan frequently asked me how I was doing and if there was anything he could do to help me. I would always overhear Logan checking in on his friends to make sure they were okay. This shows the tender heart that the Lord has blessed him with. He is able to be competitive, funny, and focused, all with a tender heart. He is able to empathize with his friends, and then he knows exactly how to cheer them up with his contagious laughter. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." Logan, thank you for letting the joy and peace of the Lord fill you up. I pray that you always let this overflow in your life and spread to people around you. I've absolutely loved getting to be your teacher this year, and I am so proud of you. Lots of love, Mrs. Thomas. I would like to nominate Rebecca F. because she demonstrates friendliness and kindness. I received this note earlier in the school year, and I could not wait to share it during Rebecca's Student in the Sunlight. This is what Rebecca's bus driver shared with me. Every morning, Rebecca gets on our bus, and when we get to the high school, she stands up and gives each junior high and high school student a hug. They love it. Her kindness gives them a good start to their school day. Recently, she was not on the bus one morning, and the students stated when exiting that they missed her hugs. I just thought you might like to know about her act of kindness. Absolutely, yes. I love hearing from other staff about the way students are impacting the lives of others for Christ. Rebecca, I loved receiving this note. It filled me with joy, just like you do for others. Keep sharing your light as you grow in your relationship with the Lord. Lots of love, Mrs. Barnishin. I would like to nominate Kara C. because she demonstrates respect and genuineness. Kara knows how to respect people and honor authority. She is also genuine in that she is outwardly what she is inwardly. I love that Kara is comfortable with who she is, and I love to see her smile. Kara is peaceful and a kind presence in our classroom. She wants her friends to do well, and she cares about their feelings. Ephesians 4:2 says, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love." One of our classroom sayings is to bear with one another. I love that Karen knows how to do this well. You are a blessing. Lots of love, Mrs. Barnishin. I would like to nominate Aiden T. as Student in the Sunlight. Growing up, my little brother Noah joined any activity he could. He played baseball, basketball, and soccer. From 7th grade to his senior year, he was in all school plays and show choir. We joked that he just wanted to be involved in everything. Aiden reminds me of my brother, but not because he is involved in every activity at school. Aiden is a champ at showing many positive character qualities. Aiden is very courteous and generous. He wants to make sure that everyone has what they need and that no one is left out. He's willing to help out if he can, whether it's loaning an item, going and grabbing an extra chair, or taking time to explain a problem. And Aiden helps with a humble attitude. He doesn't look for praise for what he does. He just sees a need and wants to do something about it. Aiden, I have loved watching all the times when you jumped right in to help others in need. You are ready to pass out items, help someone pick up a mess, work or play with a classmate and help solve problems. Generosity and humility are just a part of who you are. Keep it up, sir. Congratulations. Lots of love, Mrs. Steffen. I would like to nominate Emma S. Emma reminds me of a butterfly in many ways. Just seeing a butterfly makes people excited. There are nature preserves with entire sections dedicated to butterflies. People like to watch them flutter around. I feel like butterflies can't quite make up their mind which flower they actually want to sit on. Going from caterpillars to having beautiful wings, butterflies are also symbols of transformation. Like a butterfly, Emma brings excitement into our classroom. She also flutters down the hall to bring excitement to other teachers. The first week of school, Emma was the first to ask if she could go hug the other teachers, and it continued every week after that. Emma is also very flexible. She can go from this to that without it being a big deal. Happiness is something that Emma spreads with her encouraging words. When a student is having a bad day, Emma is there to comfort them. When they struggle with their work, Emma is there pushing them to keep going or trying to help them figure out what to do. Emma, thank you for fluttering into my classroom this year. I can't wait to see you transform into an awesome 6th grader. Congratulations. Lots of love, Mrs. Steffen. I would like to nominate Caitlin O because of her ability to see things. No, not like a fortune teller or prophet, though that would be kind of cool. What Caitlin sees is people that need helping. I have seen this in Caitlin since before she was even in my classroom. She sees someone who needs help putting away things or picking stuff up. She stops to check on someone who is hurt. She sees someone who is alone and needs a friend. Caitlin can also see situations that need to be fixed. When she thinks there is a problem, she is willing to come and let me know. And it's not out of being mean. Caitlin wants to fix the situation and help out the person who is wrong. Caitlin, thank you for following Philippians 2:4 and looking not only to your own interests, but to the interest of others. Congratulations. Lots of love, Mrs. Steffen. I love that I got to experience this of you too, sweet girl, during the school year, but I loved that you emailed me right away during this distance learning time and gave me some ideas that you've been thinking about. And it's awesome. You're a fixer. You're a thinker. And our last one for this week, I would like to nominate Ellie A. I like to get new things, new shoes, new clothes, a new craft project. New is good and exciting, but new can also be unpredictable and different. New can leave you wanting the old because there's a sense of a comfort and familiarity with the old. How about starting a new school? I, for one, understand the challenges of starting a new school. This is also my first year at Troy Christian. Ellie, you are a very courageous person. Not only is this your first year at TC, you also started partway through the school year. Not easy. We all are faced with new. How we handle new is so important. You showed up that first day with, I can figure this new school out attitude. And this attitude has continued the rest of the school year, right through our time of learning at home. My prayer for you as you experience many new things in days and years to come comes from Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Ellie, he is always with you. May you always have your eyes fixed on him. I have loved getting to know you. Thank you for showing me how to be courageous in times that are new. Have an amazing summer. Congratulations. Love, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you for being with us today. Next week's TCE Chapel, we'll have a few Student of the Sunlights at the beginning. And then we're going to take it as an opportunity to do our 6th grade recognition as a school. Usually we do that with parents on a Thursday afternoon. But this is going to be a little different this year, so we hope that you can join us for that time. We'll be looking forward to seeing you then.